What's going down? This is Donnie Houston, and I want to tell you about TNC Beauty Supply Store. I was in OST Liquor the other day picking up some highway vodka, and I ran into my homie C. Watts. She was in there getting herself together, getting ready to go DJ for the night, and she was telling me, about the black-owned beauty supply store next door, and that I should come check it out with her. So we go in there, and they had all kind of stuff. Beard products, hair sponges. They even had that Beijing for y'all boys that's a little light at the top. Hey, check out TNC Beauty Supply Store located next door to OST Liquor at 3928 Old Spanish Trail. That's 3928 Old Spanish Trail.
In my head, you feel me? So I just got on the grind. And, next thing I know, I was getting my own solo shows. It wasn't as much as what he was getting, but shoot, I was good. I was good. You know what I'm saying? I was blessed. And I had a lot of fun, you know what I'm saying? So now since it was like, hey, now I'm on my own. I'm bringing my partners from the hood with me, and, they got my back, you know what I'm saying? I got all the tapes I'm dropping, you know what I'm saying? Like, whenever I would do stuff with Bull or get on they tapes or whatever, shoot, I get tapes from him to grind. Shoot, I started dropping my own, like New Print 1.7, Magno mixes Volume 2, Magno mixes Volume 3. I just started dropping stuff. So, hey, I'm moving around. I'm hitting stores up. I got my own connects. You know what I'm saying? Now when I'm dropping projects, hey, I'm getting all the bread. I'm doing shows, going here, going there, on my own, on my own merit. So it was good. I wasn't tripping. Like, actually, I was just with Swisher Highs maybe just 2 years. You know what I'm saying? And
Man.
I just had to build my career based off of that.
Yeah. And you said you had been talking with Clue and doing stuff.
Yeah, man. And that was crazy how that happened, because I would go and talk at schools or whatever. I had my next door neighbor, and she's still she's my next door neighbor at my mother's house, but growing up she was my next door neighbor in Greenspoint. And her name Mrs. B. Shout out Mrs. Bueno. She was working at a junior high school. I want to say it was Alden Junior. You know what I'm saying? And she knew I was doing my thing, so she was like, "Hey, you ought to come and do a show for the kids at the school. Come do a show and come talk to them, blase blase." So I did that. I went over there and did the show. Performed a couple of songs, talked to the kids, give them some inspiration and whatnot, And when I went in the back to the teachers' lounge, what I'm saying, just hollering at the teachers and, just, fellowshipping with them, a dude came up and he was like, hey, my, I want to say he said his cousin, but he was like, man, my cousin is married to a guy named DJ Storm, and he's first cousins with DJ Clue. I was like, word? It's like, yeah, man, I think you ought to, I can link y'all up, you know what I'm saying? So, shouts out to DJ Storm. I end up meeting him. This is around 2004. So, I get on the phone with him. I think the dude that put me on the phone with him right then and there, so I talked to him. It's like, yeah, man, I'm a DJ out here, man. I stay in A-Leaf. I'm originally from New York, but I moved out here when I was like 16, 17. I've been out here ever since. He was like, man, we need to link up. It's like, word, that's a bet for sure. So I end up linking up with him and go to his crib. He got a whole studio and his stuff. So he was like, hey, I'll be dropping these Desert Storm South tapes. And I mostly listen to Down South stuff, but when I would listen to East Coast music, I would listen to Clue tapes, because he would have everybody on there, and they be going hard on there. So I was like, shoot, that's a bet, you know what I'm saying? So he was like, I'm gonna drop this tape, this Desert Storm South tape, plus I'm gonna let Clue hear it, once he check it out, you know what I'm saying? Hey, who knows? I was like, man, that'll be something, because at the time I was, really trying to, sharpen my rhymes up. So I'm thinking, man, I would love to go to the Mecca
Mm.
and measure my rhymes up against them boys. So man, it happened like that. Clue ended up hearing it, and Clue liked it. So uh, we ended up uh, making arrangements to go up to New York. I had already been up there before with Swisher Highs, but now I'm going up there, you know what I'm saying, to go holler at Clue. And go up there, meet over Clue, and shoot, it was just like, man, I was just tripping out. Never been to New York before, you know what I'm saying? It's cold in the mug out there, whatever, but it was just stove because just all the little scenery or whatever. But then I get in the lab and Fabolous there. He's in the lab in the booth knocking his rhymes out. So I'm like, he was like, yeah, I want you to write to this. I'm like, dang, I'm already finna be with old Fabo. So I was like, that's tight. That's a bet. I'm going down. And I always tell people, probably the strongest green that I smoked was when that boy Fabler gave me a gram of some granddaddy perk.
Mm.
And at the time, all we know was swishers. They had them woods, them backwoods. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to think. Maybe it might have been Dutch Masters back then, but I never smoked a leaf like that before. Man, he gave me a leaf and gave me some green. I smoked that, and I was so lit.
Mm.
So I wrote that shit down and laid it down, and that was it. You know what I'm saying? Ended up being on this project Loso's Way called Smoking and Sipping.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a cool experience. I ended up meeting Joe Budden when I was out there. You know what I'm saying? I was out there, went across the bridge to Jersey, hanging with him a little bit. He was supposed to get on the song that I had laid down, but I don't think he had got around to it.
Mm.
But yeah, man, it was a cool experience, man. I went up there like 2 or 3 times, and I would stay out there like weeks and weeks at a time to where I was really getting homesick. Like, man, I'm trying to get back to the age, man. But it was cool, man. It was fun while it lasted.
That's what's up, man.
And
So,
we was trying to get a deal with Jive. You know what I'm saying? At the time,
and this
Clue.
was what year was this? Got to be what?
2004 going into 05.
Oh shit.
And I ended up doing went in there and did like a little showcase or whatever. Like people be tripping out how Bobby Smurda was all in the room with all them white people and jumping across the table and all that.
Mm-hmm.
I had to do the same thing, but I wasn't doing all that. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't doing that, but I had to perform in front of all these old white people. Like really, it was like white people of all different ages. You know what I'm saying? But it was the old school. Like the big boss was like this old school white dude. They say he was the one that signed R. Kelly. You know what I'm saying? So it was like I was
Very wise.
I was big nervous.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was cool though. I guess it just didn't work out though. You know what I'm saying? Because they were saying they wanted to do it, but then I think Clue didn't I think they wasn't talking enough bread, and he was like, nah.
Donnie Houston.